All right, thanks so much for sticking with us. So let's talk beauty, and more specifically, the costs of chasing it. The fourth biennial Dying to be Beautiful Symposium is set to explore the real health impacts of striving for beauty ideals. So this is from eating disorders to mental health struggles. And it's not just a space to raise awareness, but to also provide solutions for these issues here and in the Caribbean diaspora. Clinical psychologist and eating disorder specialist Caryl James joins us to share how. Good morning. How are you, Caryl?
Hi, how are you?
Dennis. Let us talk about this very interesting topic. I'm not going to lie. I read the synopsis and I was just like, oh, this is fascinating. How common are these struggles specific to our society? Like, what are we seeing in relation to, you know, wanting to keep up with beauty standards, especially in this age of social media, and in the Jamaican context, as it relates to eating disorders?
We're seeing a rise in the trends of disordered eating behaviors. We're seeing where not only females, because initially it was common among just females, but we're seeing a rise in males as well in terms of the drive for muscularity. We're seeing where females are going on diets and where it's not sustainable. So we're finding where individuals will dive into like binge eating, where they'll lose a lot of weight, where we're also seeing like skin bleaching as well. So those are some of the common issues that we're seeing happening.
You know, Yendi quite rightly mentioned the context, which is the age of social media. And, you know, we often say comparison is the thief of happiness. That in many ways, social media sets us up to have unrealistic expectations of ourselves. But particularly in relation to the youth demographic and children, to what extent are we focusing in this initiative on the impact that how we operate is having on children growing up in this way?
We're definitely looking at that. So we do have a pediatrician. So he's a pediatrician who specializes in the impact of the social media on adolescents and young children. We also have another psychologist, that's Michael Rich, but we do have another psychologist who specializes in that area, and that's Kanisha McBride, who will be speaking at the event. But what we've seen is that we have this standard of beauty and, you know, promises surrounding beauty. And so what we find happening is that the more you engage with the social media is the more you're seeing where, okay, if I'm to have a particular look, then I'll be more successful, then I'll gain happiness, then I'll lose this anxiety, I'll lose this depression. So there are different promises that the media gives for having a particular ideal. And so we find our young people, and actually even beyond that, but we do find particularly among our young people, them gravitating towards these ideals and engaging in these extreme behaviors that affect their health, their physical health, as well as their mental health.
You know what frightens me, Caryl? I feel like when I was in high school, or when we would have been in high school, it was how you do your eyebrows, or how you pencil your lip, or how you either relax your hair or don't relax your hair. Like you went from the Afro movement to the relax movement to the setters movement. But now the imaging involves intrusive procedures. So there are girls who are injecting their lips at 18 years old. There are girls who are putting fillers and Botox in their face at 20 years old. And these things literally go into you versus an eyebrow that can grow back. And it's concerning because I feel like I'm not even sure we truly know the long-term impact of things like these, and being a part of it and or indulging it or participating in it this early in your lives. And that for me is really concerning. What do we do in the conversation and in a symposium of this nature? What do we do to make people realize, say, don't jump on these trends. Love yourself in a different way. Don't frighten for what you see in the public spaces. How do we communicate this?
It's certainly an awareness, because we're talking about people growing up in the digital age. So information that they're getting, they're believing that is factual.
Right.
So we have to educate people. People are also struggling internally, and they don't realize. So it's when we open the conversation, then they're able to say, hey,
Oh,
you know, this has been happening with me, and they're able to label it. And then these experts can also give them information as to, and tips as to how they can overcome these struggles.
When we look at this Dying to be Beautiful symposium, I mean, I can see in terms of the potential attraction to it for, you know, persons who may be struggling with something, but also particularly for clinicians who are, you know, who work in this area. Is this being targeted for them to come and learn and share and that kind of a thing?
It's targeted to everyone. So initially when we started Dying to be Beautiful, it was to raise awareness around body image and eating behaviors. But the title of the conference goes beyond that to health in the Caribbean. So we definitely target clinicians. We target, once you have a mind, because with the mind, you go through different things, and we have experts there to help you to navigate that. So people, during the season, people are struggling with losses, loneliness. They're struggling with, you know, exam pressures and anxiety surrounding that. We do have sports psychologists who will be there talking about performance and anxiety. And we have Megan Tapo, who will also be there to engage with our sports psychologist, Taryn Bratt. So it's targeted at everyone. Once you have a mind, then you should be at Dying to be Beautiful.
And obviously, Megan being there don't mean you have to be an athlete. Because the truth is, because here's the thing, we all have a race to run.
Yes,
absolutely.
I like that.
Thank you. You can find me for more of those quips. I'm kidding, no. But we really all have a specific thing that we have to face each day.
And we have hurdles to overcome.
Of course. Hey, not true.
That's a good one.
But so the mentality that you go into each day with is really what sets the tone or makes a difference for the approach and the outcomes. Tell me the when, the where, the how about the symposium.
So it starts tomorrow, but it's for the entire weekend, and it's at the University of the West Indies, the Faculty of Social Sciences Lecture Theatre, and we have some breakout rooms because we've created more of different strategies. So we have workshops, we have plenaries, we also have chefs, Andre Fauss, who will be joining us. And and it's to look at, you know, how people get through difficult moments. So not only the clinical problems, but how people get through difficult moments and they're able to build their resilience. So we want to also give people hope.
Is there a fee to enter?
Yes, so there is $1,000 for students, and for adults it's $3,000. But we are and we're sending out messages to our high schools, where some high schools are invited for free. Awesome. So.
And that's a good thing, because a lot of young people, especially sixth formers, are doing SBAs that focus on this type of topic, so they can jump on board as well.
They can.
All right, thank you very much. Caryl James is a clinical psychologist and eating disorder specialist. After the break, we have a Money Matters, and Carlton is here to help in Money Master class. It's sponsored by Jamaica National. Stay with us.